You're listening to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Domashevitz.
So yesterday we had a wiffle ball tournament. It was a blast. It was an Ole Penn real estate affair. I mean, it wasn't officially like Ole Penn real estate wiffle ball, but it was at Jason's house.
It was at Ole Penn Park.
Ole Penn Park. That's what I was trying to remember. Yeah, and there was a few standout performances there.
Yeah.
I would say Ben DeBlanco, friend of the show, had a massive game at the plate. He hit a bunch of dingers, which was frustrating for us because he ended up knocking us out of the tournament with a dinger. But we'll get to that in a little bit because I felt like there was two players that really, if they weren't on their team, with how the rest of their team played, they wouldn't have won many games. And one of those was our pitcher.
Wait a minute.
We did not play well at all.
The team of realtors at Ole Penn Real Estate wish you and your family good health during this stay home, stay safe time. Their team has health and safety measures in place to protect you and everyone involved in the process. If you're thinking about selling your home, now is a great time. There are more buyers than available homes. Many homes are still receiving multiple offers and are selling for above asking price. Ole Penn Real Estate will help you put the most money possible in your pocket in less time without the hassle. Visit sellmyharborhome.com to get your home market ready. The Ole Penn team is ready to work for you.
Let's be real. Okay, Justin, you seem like you might be getting defensive to that.
No.
I have just kind of reserved myself that we would have gotten knocked out in like the second game had we not had somebody throw a perfect game in it.
Well, if Jimmy hadn't allowed that home run in the round robin game, I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
So first of all, we took a little bit to figure it out. The first game, not only did we not hit, which we did the entire day, we didn't hit, Jimmy included. But also, Jimmy didn't really figure out how to pitch yet.
I got a hit.
Well,
A hit.
Yeah.
I had hits too.
I think I had 2 or 3. Like, we had some hits.
Yeah.
But the most we scored was 4 runs.
Sound like the Mariners.
Yeah, it was bad.
Hey.
But anyway.
I said we had some hits.
Yeah.
That's where you wouldn't be the Mariners.
The reason why Jimmy would be up there is because in 3 straight games, he didn't give up a run. I think he might have had 1 base runner in those 3 games. I want to say 1 base runner. And in one of those games, he threw a perfect game. They're 3-inning games, and he had 7 strikeouts. So only 2 batters made contact even.
Well, there was at least 1 fielding error in one of those games because I had a ground ball go through my legs.
Okay.
So there was a base runner there.
Gotcha. That probably would have been a tough play. Well, then it was 2 base runners then because in the semifinal, there was a ground ball up the first baseline that I'm going to give as a hit because Andrew and Jimmy were both running after the ball, and Andrew got it, and he looked to throw to the pitcher's mound, but Jimmy wasn't there.
Dude,
so
this is an argument against Jimmy as the athlete of the week
Jimmy.
Because Andrew blamed Jimmy for that play.
Jimmy
And
wasn't
Jimmy
where he
blamed-
needed to be.
Jimmy blamed Andrew because
For not
I'm on
chucking
Jimmy's.
it
I'm
outside of the park.
I'm with Jimmy on this because there was 0 chance that you would have been able to throw it to the pitcher's mound in time.
What?
Dude, he was 2 feet away from the base when you got the
pitcher's
ball.
mound was closer than he was.
No.
I was coming in hard.
You
All
were
I
like-
had to do was literally flick it to the pitcher.
Not on this one.
Yeah,
Dude,
on
on the
that
one
one.
where Ben was on first.
Specifically on that one,
Ben ran
because
a
the
foot
whole
away
time-
from you. He ran right by you. He literally ran right by you. The whole time you were even going for the ball, I was yelling, beat him, beat him, beat him, beat him, because the baseline was like 3 feet from you, and the pitcher's mound was, however far the pitcher's mound is from the baseline. The whole time you were going for the ball, I was yelling, beat him.
All I know is it wasn't my fault. So
It definitely wasn't your fault.
who cares?
The run didn't score anyway.
That's true.
We ended up losing 0-0, and the reason for that was the other possible player of the week was Tracy Ford, who was also ridiculous on the mound. And besides the 2 walks that he gave up, that was the only base runners we had in that last game. So what do you think, Justin? Is it Tracy or is it Jimmy?
I mean, one of those pitchers beat the other one.
Not really.
We lost the game.
We lost the game, but it was in a home run derby swing off, which technically I lost the game.
Also, earlier in the day, Tracy had hit a couple of home runs as well.
Okay. That might be the tiebreaker then.
Yeah. I mean, we went through an entire wiffle ball tournament as a team and didn't hit a single home run.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
And the field was pretty small.
And my read on that whole situation too was like the first couple games we played against pitchers who weren't throwing particularly hard or particularly nasty, and we put lots of balls in play. I actually hit 2 really well that would have gone over the fence if somebody hadn't caught them, but they did, so they didn't go over the fence.
Yeah.
But then when we got to like the last 2 pitchers that we played against, first was Kelly Broughton and then was Tracy Ford, those guys were just throwing nasty stuff that I felt like as a non-baseball player, I just had no chance at hitting. But you and Jimmy could at least half the time get the bat on the ball.
Yeah.
So when we got to going up against really good pitchers, that was where I felt totally useless.
Yeah, well,
We all did.
if you were totally useless, I was just impressed if I got more than 3 pitches.
I'm just going to be unbiased here and say Tracy's team made it further in the tournament. They beat us. He totally smoked us as a pitcher, and he also had some big hits early. His team won their first game in round robin play 14-0.
So you're going to go overall. Because the big
Well,
thing
it's
for
the
me with
athlete
Jimmy,
of the week, not
Yeah.
athlete of the game.
That's true. The big thing for me with Jimmy is he threw a perfect game with 7 strikeouts.
You know what, though? Okay. Afterwards, you were like, Jimmy, you threw a perfect game. And he went, it's 3 innings.
Yeah.
So even in his mind, it didn't count for anything.
I know, but even Tracy didn't have a perfect game. He at least walked somebody in every game that he did. All right, I'm giving it to Tracy.
Okay.
Tracy's the Ole
Tracy
Penn
Ford.
athlete of the week because it's a sporting event that happened this week, so we can actually
Yes.
have somebody who did something instead of going back in the past. We'll get back to that next week. I've got some people lined up that'll be fun for us to talk about. But this week, the Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week is Tracy Ford.
I think it's worth mentioning also
defeated the Scrimmage Smell Ya Laters.
we had awesome. We had the best jerseys.
Oh, by far.
I thought so. Thank you to D4 Sports.
We have a Jared Kellenick on the front with "Smell You Later"
Yeah.
on it, in case you can't see Andrew's shirt or my shirt through the audio. But I think it's worth mentioning that event was put on and organized by Jason Atwood, who is the owner. I don't know what his title is, but he started Ole Penn Real Estate, and it was used as a fundraiser for Young Life Ministries,
Yes.
which was cool. So we got, we did pay to play, and there was some other ways that they generated revenue with the event, but it wasn't to make money. It was to donate money to Young Life. Also, the amount of work that Jason put into making it like a legitimate field and feel and schedule, that it was really cool. Like, he completely converted his yard into a wiffle ball field with like a real scoreboard, and it was just really awesome, the amount of work that he put into it.
Yeah, and a fence.
Yeah.
And foul poles and backstops.
And rules.
And it was a lot
And a
of fun.
PA system.
And he had a temperature checker, so we all had to check
Yeah.
in and get our temperatures checked before the game and sign waivers that, all the COVID stuff. So I think it was put on in a really good way, and we did a really good job with it. And he absolutely, like, you drove up and you were like, whoa, this is like, the setup is ridiculous here. So that was, It was just a blast.
That was pretty cool.
All right, let's move on to some real sports.
What do you mean?
Whoa.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen Andrew get so heated over anything as me talking about that wiffle
It
ball
wasn't
play.
his fault, Daniel.
I
didn't
I'm
say-
not
I was
usually
calling it a
so
hit.
confident that I had an out. Usually I feel like, oh, well, but that I'm quite certain that was an easy out.
I am certain that was anything but an easy out, no matter how you would have played it. Like, I call that a hit. No mistakes made.